Get started. Roll call, please. Lynn?
Okay. Mike Dolson,
I'm here.
Tom McDonald,
Here.
Jennifer Finley, Jim Molitor, Carol Langford, Danielle Matt, here, Bing Matt, James Steele Jr., Martin Charlo,
Present.
Len Tooteeth.
Thank you. Lynn, could you give us a prayer this morning? Thank you. Thank you, Lynn. What we have? Minutes? November 19th minutes? Morning, Jennifer. Abby, I was absent. I was at a House of Representatives roundtable on Public Law 638.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Bing.
Yeah, on page 2 where I mentioned that there was about Jimmy Adams. She has no snow there. I said there was little snow where people still can get around up there. Say there was no snow. There was a little snow up there in the South Fork.
Mr. Chairman, one minor correction on the paragraph where I'm requesting services for Reuben Burke. I would like that to state Len Tooteeth informed council that a tribal member applied for services.
Thank you, Len.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, Bing.
I want to do the same with my statement to take Bernie's name out of there. Tribal member.
Thank you.
George.
Go ahead, Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Abby, on 3 of 7, the part about MDT, could we add that the survey will go on for a few more months and there'll be another public meeting in Polson or Pablo? Thank you.
Anything else? Motion by Martin, second by Tom to approve the November 19th minutes with corrections. All in favor? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, and I abstain. We do have an agenda for today. Any other? The agenda? The walk-ins? I'll give a little report on my trip to DC. What's happening? Oh, I don't. Okay, Tom. Tom. Well, did you fill out, a form to walk in? Oh, well, it's yours in executive talk.
No, one could be, I'll say that one for the EPI one.
Okay.
I do have one. So,
Well, why don't you go ahead?
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda with additions.
Motion by Tom to approve the agenda with addition, second by Bing. All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Go ahead,
Yes,
Tom.
thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to make sure everybody, if they saw the notice from Shane Morjo, but he did do the invite to have a whatever, some kind of meeting, whether Zoom or in person with the outgoing senator. And so that's possible to be in the works. So in concert with Missoula County or a representative from Missoula County. But that's just want to make sure everybody saw that. So it might happen, it may not happen. I don't know. Thank you.
Tom?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just wanted to thank Tribal Health this morning for sponsoring our community Thanksgiving. We fed over 45 people on Tuesday evening. Just had a really good turnout. We're looking forward to a Christmas meal down there. I'm still trying to find a department to help sponsor that. And then just wanted to recap on our Monday meeting that Dixon does have there's a potential for Dixon to possibly get a skate park next year. The streetlight should be going in at the basketball court thanks to MVP. I think we're slotted for a vaulted toilet there at the park as well. I did send in a request of preservation to look at the old jail down there to make that a historic site. It's the only BIA building left standing down there. So we'll see if that request is granted, but I did put that into them down there. But yeah, that's all I've got this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. Martin?
Killing time. The skate park is completed here in Pablo. I might do something super small with just myself and someone just to kind of bless the place and everything. So won't do the grand opening till next spring, weather permitting, of course, and hopefully gonna get some grass seed and all that nice mud that's around and straw.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I just I know that it was a beneficial update with Greg and how he identified the ARPA funding and what could be done. And Len, you kind of missed it yesterday, but one of the critical things of one of the programs that was reviewed yesterday was trying to provide everything you possibly can to keep people busy or things for kids to do and youth and support. And so whether it's a baseball field or a basketball court or skate park, anything, you can't go wrong with that because it's one of those places people have someplace to go. It's an alternative to, you know, other bad behavior, maybe a safe zone for somebody. And so I really encourage all of us to think about that. So when we have an opportunity to build anything that is promoting healthy lifestyles, I think we should just jump on it as much as possible because that's part of the whole program is prevention. And so I really encourage us to look at those kind of things. And it reminded me of the field trip that that Jennifer and I and Rich Jansen went on to talk about the Upper Columbia River tribes and the mining activity. And we stopped in Coeur d'Alene at the Salvation Army Croc Recreation Facility. And that's a grant that the widow of the McDonald's Corporation from the McDonald hamburger stand donated to Salvation Army to build low income area community centers that service everything. And they provide everything in that facility. But because it's a Salvation Army, there has to be a religious component. In other words, there has to be the ability for church services to happen in the facility. That's the only catch that sometimes people look at as an activity. But if you ever get a chance to look at the rec facility in Coeur d'Alene, it's what exit is. It's not Division. It's not going up to Hayden Lake. It's the next one down as you're heading to Spokane. You turn off. Yeah, but it's just right there. There's a couple softball fields and this beautiful recreation facility, and it's all inclusive. It has everything in it. It's incredible what they provide in those facilities. And you just got to have a Salvation Army sponsorship. And in the Pacific Northwest, there's only two, one in Salem and the one in Coeur d'Alene. And so if there was any money left over of the $2 billion that was given, part of it was an endowment to run these recreation facilities in these communities around the United States forever, but also half of it was to build them. So I don't know if there's any money left or not. And I don't know if anybody knows anybody in the Salvation Army or not, and where is their office around here? I have no idea, but it's worth considering. I thought that would be a great facility for probably Ronan, something central in the reservation. Could be anywhere, but someplace that doesn't have the swimming pool, doesn't have indoor basketball, doesn't have this and this and this, and serves the most of a tribal population that we have. Just wanted to bring that up because that reminded me of that facility. Just a great facility. Thank you.
Go ahead, Jennifer.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, Tom. I thought about that yesterday too, and I put it in my notes. So Tom took Rich Jansen and I there, and the facility is so beautiful. I mean, everything about it is beautiful. Like you walk in and you feel like you're in a special place. But there was a theater in it, coffee shop, classroom space, a gym, basketball court, like everything.
They do daycare. They do everything.
Everything. And it's beautiful. And it was packed with people doing stuff.
It's a thrift store in it. Yeah.
Oh, there was a thrift store too? Yeah. So it was just really cool. And, and one of our presenters yesterday, one thing that he told me that he didn't say yesterday was that in Iceland, over 70% of their youth were using drugs. And because of this prevention model that they implemented, it went down to something like 4%. So it's extremely effective and just providing youth with things that they want to do really works.
Go ahead, Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, I really thought that discussion that we had with Greg was really beneficial because it was our understanding that we were to use our enhancement funds for a match. And when I brought that forth to the community, they had other ideas. They had other ideas rather than a skate park. But now that we do have that opportunity to get a skate park, we'll get one too. So I just think that was, I'm just glad that he clarified our misunderstanding of that. Because I was wanting to get a skate park in Elmo, but there was just people had other ideas on what they wanted done over there. So good things are happening.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, I think creating that extra 500K is what allowed this to happen because of the sanitation that's needed, some of the other improvements. So I think we really revisit what we have there and make sure that any district gets a skate park that wants one. And that we alter or modify whatever we have to make sure that happens. If we don't have enough between the 1.5 that's allocated to it all, that we add some of the leftovers that's not being expended to that exercise, just to make sure that every community, even Hot Springs gets one.
We've actually had contact with, what's the gal's name? Yeah, and we actually exchanged messages, and I talked about it, sort of a different format for it, and she basically put us on hold until Jeff comes back. He's out on tour and wants to talk about the different configuration that we were talking about, so. Yeah. No, just this tree right here.
One per district. Unless, Jen wants to extend her district up to Big Fork. The problem with Jen's district is she already has a skate park. And the same thing with James, they already have one. So they have the opportunity to look at, something unique or different and some attribute or something that, but there's a lot of things to do in Polson, I gotta say.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Is there anything we can do for Charlo? That there's lots of tribal children there and tribal members in that town as well, so maybe we brainstorm on something for there in the coming
Charlo's
days.
in your district, isn't it?
I believe,
Oh, is it
It's in-
Mission?
Technically Mission, yeah, I actually checked.
Okay.
yeah, it's Mission.
Yes, that would be up to James, huh?
He's got ones.
Well, we have a walk-in. Go ahead and come on up, Jared. Good morning. Let us know what you got going here. This sounds interesting.
My name is Jared Ross.
If you'll use the microphones. We have people online a lot of times and
Button right above top.
and we record through it, so.
Yeah, the button right above top.
Push it in, you don't have to.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. My name is Jared Broxman with Montana Acting Studio. I am from Ronan. I graduated here in 2005. And I have, over the years, have been in film and TV as an actor, but then came back to Montana and I saw the need for, I attended the University of Montana to pursue film acting, the art of film acting. But a lot of the things around here are all theater strong, which is great. And so I just opened up my acting studio with my own experience. Never taught anything like that before, but over the past 4 years, I've been kind of in the gears of trying to get art education and film acting to kids and adults. I've been successful online in little areas because we launched right before COVID. And so we haven't had a physical location. And so I've always wanted to bring that art back to the community for sure. I was in show choir, did all that fun stuff in high school. And so I just wanted to bring that back because the art of film acting helps you understand emotions. And as an adult, sometimes we don't really understand our own emotions. And so through that art form and hands-on and community, it's really nice to just bring people together. And art's a form of therapy, And so, and that's who I am. And this is Diana. She is my right-hand man right now, and she's doing awesome. And she'll carry on with the other thing. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Diana Dalkey, and I am a producer at Novavento Entertainment. I've worked with Carol on getting permits to film around Montana, especially here on our beautiful reservation. So what Montana Acting Studio would like to do is secure space that we have talked to Don Burgess about at the Red Poppy in Ronan to start an after-school filming club for kids where we can teach them acting and all other aspects of filming, camera work, stunts, things like that, as well as script writing, producing, any aspects that they would like. Offer summer camps for kids to have something to do in the summer, and as well as adults, give them an opportunity to act. And with this opportunity with the acting studio, I do have a lot of productions coming this next year, which could lead to them being on set. We have talked to Don Burgess in Ronan about the Red Poppy, and it is $750 a month for the studio space. So we are asking for a donation of $9,000 to cover it for a year to get us going.
Go ahead, Martin.
Isn't the red poppy for sale?
It is,
Do you know what the asking price is?
about $500,000.
So I hate paying rent when you can buy things.
Other thoughts or questions? Carol?
Have you approached the Boys and Girls Club at all? I know they have a.
I have emailed them just recently. We've just in the email communications of just trying to set up a meeting with that. But yes, I had been in communications with them.
Yeah, I could probably facilitate that. I'm on the board.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and my neighbor is Eli that runs the one in Ronan, so I have
Okay.
talked with her, but just haven't got to focus on a definite meeting time yet.
I'm just wondering, if you're doing programming, I wonder if there's programs that will pull together that could possibly come up with the money to do that. That's why I'm saying the Boys and Girls Club, they're really good at collaborating with all of our tribal programs to do things. And so that might be an option
Okay,
if
Okay.
the programming all fit, but it sounds like it's focused around kids, which Tom was
Yes.
just talking about. Trying with prevention is trying to keep our kids doing things that they enjoy.
exactly. And keeping them off the streets. That is one of my goals as someone who went through that. So we also have talked with Becky at about the theater in Ronan, just narrowing down a time with the holidays coming up. Everyone's kind of busy to discuss maybe potentially using that space as well, just because the Red Poppy is for sale. He said it has been for sale for a while and hasn't really had any traction on that. So,
Right, Jennifer?
You know, one thing I think about is SKC. And I'm wondering if, because they do have a theater.
mhm.
I don't know if you've seen it. It's not a well-designed theater. 'Cause anyway, but it is a theater. And I'm wondering if, I don't know, if they would be able to partner with you on something like this or even pay you to offer some classes there.
Okay, yeah, I did
then
reach out
maybe
to
donate
Michelle Munson, I believe,
Space. Uh-huh.
and I just have not heard a respond back yet on that. However, if you have a different person I could contact.
Well, most appropriately, probably Michael Munson.
Oh, is that who it is? Oh, I do apologize, Michael Munson. Yes, that's who I emailed and just have not heard a response yet from.
I think it would be Teresa Sias because she manages the spaces.
Oh,
And when
okay.
we, like, and even when the tribe has events over there, that's who we work with
Oh, okay.
to get space.
Okay,
So that
I'll
might
reach out
be,
to her.
And I don't know who develops the schedule for the curriculum. But that might be a possibility too, is to maybe offer some classes
Absolutely.
over there and
Yeah.
see if they would donate some space as well for
Okay.
evenings for kids.
Yeah,
Yes.
when I first opened this up in 2020, that my goal was always to bring it up here and to get in classes into anywhere possible up here. Because I understand, like, you know, as a kid, you know, around here, I was like, man, there's really nothing to do, you know? And so just keeping these kids active and a goal, you know, of something. So absolutely, we're open to all ideas.
Martin and Tom? Okay, Tom?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you for coming in. I understand that you made a request before. It would have been on our regular programming because usually the walk-ins we reserve just for members of our tribe. But considering the amount of your donation, I really would like you to come back. That would be my opinion. As you can see, there's lots of different potentials.
Mhm.
And so I think some of our executive team could probably help frame how a package could be put together.
Okay,
Yeah, lots of different issues, and it's a great opportunity.
thank you.
But I would also look at, the various tribal programs that we have that want to engage youth, from our education department to tribal health, you know, the college, obviously. You know, there's probably a way to put something together that's really comprehensive and inclusive and just a little bit more consideration. So I would appreciate, you know, a little bit more thought and come
Absolutely.
back. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you,
for coming
everyone.
in. Sounds like a wonderful thing.
Appreciate it. And what you guys are doing, I'm overhearing about the skate parks and stuff. So I was just like, thank you.
Thank
Love
you
it.
so
Yes,
much.
absolutely love it.
Thank you. Guys, have a good day.
Thank you, guys.
Well, we got a couple minutes yet before, fire control, so, I'll just say that I had the opportunity to go to Washington DC and participate in a roundtable, with the Natural Resources Committee. They were talking about Public Law 638 and how, we find it. How do we actually think it's successful as it's being operated? And so we got the opportunity to talk about the health program, how it interfaces with economic development and safety, public safety. And it was an interesting meeting. Got to meet leaders from a couple other reservations that were there to also talk about their experience. Um, the representatives that were there were very positive about the program and what it needs, and they should be out here to help us to make sure we have the autonomy to do the kinds of things we need to do in all areas. And the other interesting twist to most of the questions was most of them were wanting to know if it's efficient, and are we using the dollars as effectively as possible, and are there places that they can cut the dollars? And so it left me kind of wondering. They sound real positive about the program moving forward, doing the right things with 638 compacting and contracting, but they also sound like they're going to be looking at dollars. And so that worries me. But that was the gist of the meeting I had in DC, and we took the opportunity to visit Cheehy's office. It was kind of interesting. He has only 2 people in place. The receptionist met us at the door, and we sat down. What? No, he wasn't there. I don't think he might have even been in town. I don't know that for sure. But we met with Allie, the receptionist, and started talking about several of the issues we talk about all the time. And then Mike Berg came in and said, well, 10 minutes ago, he got appointed the chief of staff. And so he really didn't have any clue what he was really up to, but he came in and listened to us. We met with Connor in Senator Daines' office, and I don't think he was available either. Senator Daines had the opportunity to say hello to John Tester, just in passing, and then sat down with I can never remember John's last name, in Ryan Zinke's office, and talked about some of the same issues that we're talking about. It was a fast and furious trip. Met these folks on Monday, had the roundtable on Tuesday, and back here Tuesday night. So interesting visit, but I'm really wondering, we're going to be hit with tightening the belt. So, questions?
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, James.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. Thanks for the report. I'm kind of reflecting back to my first time as chair going to see John Tester. He was in a temporary office down in the basement with cubicles, and took a while before he got assigned his regular office in the Hart building. And where his office is in the Hart building, down the walkway there, the walkway there was Senator Inouye's office at the time. And Max Baucus used to actually be kind of right in that area too, if I remember right. But yeah, we're definitely losing an ally in the Indian Affairs Committee, Veterans Affairs Committee, and just in general in Montana. It's, we're not going to have a lot of the face-to-face with the senators and congressmen that we've been used to with Bacchus and Tester in the past, we're going to get left with legislative directors and chiefs of staff and those kind of things. So it's going to behoove us to even more collaborate with the tribes in Montana in particular and be more unified with them in terms of the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council needs to be more cohesive and be working as a group and in putting more pressure on face to face with these folks. These are the times when those organizations are very valuable, when you can get the group together and focus as a group. When I was chair of the Tribal Leaders Council and Carl Venn was chair, we would get together at the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council, and we would, in DC and in Helena, we would be very proactive in helping all the tribes with their issues. And that's what we need to do now. So those of you that are on ATNI, NCI, and Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council, I have been on all of those and I have served on all of those. And as Carol has as well, and all of us have at different times, these are the times to get those groups together and focus and protect us all as a group. So that's my encouragement to all of us. I just, because when I went to see John Tester, brand new, he was right there. I mean, he was there practically all the time, not all the time, but enough to, even when he was a brand new senator. So, but I don't envy your trip to DC, Chairman, but I do definitely empathize with your trip and your efforts, and definitely want to see us get things done as best we can.
Thanks, James. At least it was t-shirt weather. I think it was 75 to 80 degrees for those 2 days. And the other one thing that caught me a little sideways was when we met with Allie and then with Mike Berg, asked where Mike was from, and he's from Columbus, Ohio. And then asked Allie where she's from. She's from Cincinnati, Ohio. And so Mr. Sheehy is filling his office with folks that aren't from Montana. Exactly. Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, north of Ohio. I think James's words are really wise. That was when Martin and I went to ATNI. We were trying to get Martin in an elected position because, of course, his term in office here is longer than mine. And certainly, I went to the floor of the convention and told them about how serious this election was and trying to encourage them to throw money because they're in blue states. Most of the ATNI tribes are in solid blue states. And so the one thing that Kat Brigham and I talked about was the need to bring more of our tribes that are part of ATNI that don't show up and aren't part of that, because we can make our voices known through ATNI, through those Democratic reps that are still in DC. If we don't have any ears here in Montana through our Montana reps, we can at least throw noise that way, and we'll get representatives from Oregon or Washington that will bring up issues for Indian country, at least in the Columbia River. But the Crow tribe, Blackfeet tribe, there's a bunch of tribes that never show up to ATNI that are members. And so it was really important for us to try to get them to come and then maybe dominate some of the committees or some of the dialogue there to make sure that our concerns are heard. So I know that'll at least be a strategy at the winter convention that we have coming up here at the end of January. But we know anybody, again, Rocky Mountain Leaders Council, those guys, if they start showing up. Blackfeet was actually at the last one. There was a Blackfeet rep, but that was it. I mean, Coeur d'Alene and us and nobody else really up in the upper river. So Kootenai Tribe Idaho wasn't there. There wasn't other reps from, the other tribes. They weren't there. Some of our neighbor tribes just south of us or west of us. But yeah, there could be some more representatives from Montana that could show up. Be great.
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, James.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom, for that. I have a suggestion. When Carl Venn and myself were chair and vice chair of Tribal Leaders Council, Wind River, the Shoshones and Arapahoes were kind of at odds. something had happened between them and Rocky Boy in the years past. And so what we did to get them back involved was we went down there and had a regular Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders meeting to get them back into the fold, and that seemed to work. What I'm thinking of in terms of ATNI participation, I know it was an issue when I was part of ATNI as well, is maybe what we need to do, you or Martin or whomever are on that, to find out, who might be those folks from Browning, Crow, etc., and just engage with them, get them on a phone call, and just and I think we might be better served proactive, getting their participation. And I seen it work with Shoshone and Arapaho. It might work with Crows and such. Just a thought.
Thank you, James. Go ahead, Tom, and then Carol.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'll definitely do that with, I know I could probably, for sure, Kootenai Tribe of Idaho will make it. I'll give a call to the chair and the vice chair. And see, I know that the chair, she's been at the last few. I don't know why she missed this one. But she's been pretty good. But yeah, we'll do that. I'll try to do some calls and see what I can do to get some recruitment going. But if we don't have a voice in DC through our Congress reps and our 2 senators, then we're gonna have to use some other state's voice. And that's gonna be through, near as I can tell, ATNI.
Go ahead, Carol.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is that we need to reach out maybe to Cantwell or somebody from Washington who knows us. But the other thing is that we really need to work on strengthening the tribal leaders. I mean, I really don't know how effective they are. I mean, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I know Lynn's a part of that, but it seems like they could do so much more, and I don't know if the executive director is strong. AT and I really appreciate that group. They'll always assist tribes, and same way with NCAI if you ask them and you do the legwork on it. But yeah, James is absolutely right. We just we need to be out there, but definitely use we've done this before. We can get it done and to our advantage. So anyway, thanks for all the words. Good.
Thank you, Carol. Go ahead, Lynn.
Art's on Zoom whenever you're ready for the fire approval.
Go ahead, Lynn, and move on to
Thank you,
fire.
Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this is all good dialogue. I really want to encourage that our executive team start putting strategy meetings together on how the new Trump administration is going to impact our programs and what kind of plans we're going to have in place, if any cuts are going to happen. But it sounds like there's going to be a lot of impacts in Indian country from the Trump administration. So sooner the better. If we could start getting those together and having all of our programs starting to identify the impacts, specifically the Department of Education.
Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah, just along the lines of this discussion, I just wanted to go back to an idea that Carol had earlier this year about hiring a year-round get out the vote person. I thought that was a really good idea. And I think now would be the time to really double down our efforts and get people to vote and educate people about American civics. A lot of people don't know how our government actually operates, and if you get elected to a position, what those people actually do, what their job is, and how to run for an office. And I think it's an opportunity to really educate people about offices that open on the reservation, political offices that open, how to run for it, what those jobs do, because our schools aren't doing a good job of doing that. So I don't think I'm not blaming people for not knowing that. You can't know something if no one ever teaches it to you. So I think it's our opportunity to teach that to people, and encourage people to get out and vote and participate in our democracy. I think that, I just thought that was a really good idea and I think we can't be too complacent about getting people to vote and educating people about their civic responsibilities.
Thank you, Jennifer. Why don't we go ahead and move on to Len, quick?
Just one last comment. I just wanted to thank tribal member Kathy DePuy for joining us this morning. Good morning, Kathy, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Lynn. Morning, Kathy. Go ahead and let Art in. Morning, Art. We're ready for you. There you go.
Good morning. Okay, there we go. All right, yeah, what it is what I usually come in to see you guys for before December 1st every year so we can get approval to continue with not understory, pile burning for the reservation for all our projects. Basically we move area to area and we're currently working on stuff, but we will not be done by December 1st. And so we need approval to continue beyond that point. One of our main contacts is Randy Ashley, and we go by what he says. If he says we don't have a good airshed, we won't burn. So that's kind of taking care of that. We have probably about 8 to 10 areas within the reservation that we're working, and we just need the approval so we can continue with the work. Because if we don't have that available to us, then we're not sure what we would do with our people, if whether we'd have to lay them off or give them a furlough for a while or what. But so it's basically to keep them working and for us to continue to get accomplishments.
Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd make the motion to allow fire control to extend their burn season into the closed season as long as they have close coordination with the NRD air quality program and not to burn during inversions.
Motion by Tom, second by Bing, to allow burning. All in favor? We got 6-4 with James. You got a thumb up? Okay, we got 7-4 and 2 out of the room. Len and Martin out of the room. Thank you, Art.
Okay, so we're good then?
We're good.
All righty, thanks, guys.
Light it up.
All right.
Morning, John.
Thank you. Later.
Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning. So this morning, I'm here for approval of a period of performance mod, no dollars. Just to extend the period of performance to January 30th on task order 122, which is the dental 2 portion of it. Dental equipment from Harry Shine is not in yet. It's projected to be in December 15th. So we're looking for just approval to move the end date back to January 31st. Gary Pitts and Travis Fisher, they're kind of the point of contacts up there. They do a real great job. Gary's always done a great job for tribal health. It's been a pleasure working with him. But anyway, we're just looking to get that mod to move back to January 31st.
Motion by Carol to approve the modification of contract 23104 task 122 to just extend its time. Second by Tom. All in favor? We are unanimous.
Okay, that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Joe's not due until 2. Is he on? We'll take a break until 2 at 10 o'clock. Break until 10 o'clock. Cammy, go ahead and come up. Good morning. I hear you're Joe Durglow today. Sit down and please turn the microphone on. Oh, there's Bing. Welcome.
Thank you. A little nervous. Um, so I'm here to make a request, to shut down tribal health on Thursday, December 5th. From about, I guess, from the whole morning until about 1. We're planning to have an annual meeting over in the SKC gym for all staff. And it would be our first, full staff meeting since pre-COVID. So we're really looking forward to trying to bring everybody back together and try to get some things going.
Sounded like until 1 o'clock. .30 to 12:30. Any questions? Go ahead, Tom.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Cammy, do you have an agenda? Did Joe put together an agenda for your?
I'm putting that together and I'm actually meeting with our trainer this afternoon. So I kind of have a tentative one, and I'll have that finished by the end of the day today after I go meet with her from U of M.
Motion by Danielle.
Pharmacy?
So Dr. Cahoon has kind of expressed that she would like to keep the pharmacy open. So I think that we would probably just have a skeleton crew for the pharmacy.
Second by Lynn. Motion by Danielle, second by Lynn to approve the request to have a closure of tribal health on December 5th from 8:30 till 12:30, retaining the skeleton crew, the essential service.
That's correct.
Any other remarks? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, Cammy. That wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
Martin?
I assume you're gonna actually provide masks and offer social distancing if people so choose?
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure that we have masks and availability for that. We rented half the gym, so it'll be more than enough room for what we'll have there.
Thank you. Have a good day. I see Chelsea's available. Chelsea, are you wanting executive?
Yes, sorry, Mr. Chairman, that would be great. Executive would be great.
And we have an external memorandum of agreement with housing for $762,239.10. Motion by Tom. Second by Bing. All in favor? Unanimous. And we have another memorandum of agreement that's internal with lands for a well, community well. Motion by Bing, second by Tom. All in favor? Unanimous. And then the third item was you were looking for sole source on
Manny Marquez for plumbing,
in Lake City.
Lake City Electric for the electrical, and MVP for the power installs.
To deal with tiny homes, right?
Yes.
I would entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by James. Second by Carol. All in favor? Unanimous.
The approval with Greg. He's here.
The ability to, we talked about that there wasn't any objection to having that. I thought. But we can have a motion. Motion by Len to transfer money from one account to the other that you're talking about from, what was it, wells?
Water, well, sewer, septic
Construction.
to the construction.
Got a motion by Len. Second by Jen. All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Council, for the good discussion, and enjoy your lunch. I see that Guy's here, so. If you want turkey and ham, you can come down to our office too.
You got turkey and ham, do you?
We are having Thanksgiving today. Yes. I didn't know you guys scheduled EKI. So after your guys' lunch, you can come down and
Of course.
mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing, deviled eggs, baked beans, turkey ham, moose roast. Some salads and stuff, and then a bunch of desserts.
You got a big check.
That's the other part. We don't, that we expect the big check from you.
That's right.
Thank you guys for your time.
I know I need a break, at least 5 minutes. Then it looks like we'll probably go into lunch. Yeah, why don't you go ahead and reschedule those, Jen?
Well, not really. I thought maybe I might be able to do them both.
My question was that.
I am a
whether or not they had
McDonald's,
big
right?
Check for us, and they said no, so we're here.
Well, that means the
Okay,
only thing
need
we
the
can
big
get out
check,
is
though.
food. She is running home first. James is on Zoom and Jennifer will be on Zoom. She was here. She's made excuses. She'll be on Zoom. Jimmy, I haven't heard from, but he's had some stuff happening, so. Well, I think we are who we are. Welcome. Good afternoon. Oh, it's before
Welcome.
noon yet. Oh.
Are you going to the shareholder meeting?
We will go.
And do you want it recorded?
Do we want it recorded? We're going to shareholders meeting. EK. One by Carol. Motion by James, second by Carol to reappoint Jeff and Ralph.
I don't know about Ralph.
All in favor?
I
Think we're good. Unanimous.
Thank you for that. Tom, you're right. We say that every time we meet. We don't know about Ralph, but he's been a good part of, he adds a lot to the conversations.
Mr. Chairman, I oppose that action.
Oh, sorry, Lynn. So it was 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 4, and 1 in opposition. Len? Anything else? Yeah, I know that. We can actually adjourn today because you've rescheduled the rest of the day. So we are adjourned.